Here are the objectives and the success criteria for today's lesson. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to understand how to use different strategies to solve addition problems and also be able to solve addition problems with 3-digit numbers. That's what our focus is for. Welcome back to day 29 of online learning. Today we're going over Unit 7, Lesson 2.4. So yesterday while we were starting to talk about starter problems, we talked about different ways that you can start out while you're doing addition problems. What I want us to do is go over a problem from our have-to yesterday, pages 421 to 422, and we're going to be looking at different ways that you could have started and solved problem 2. So please pause me now and pull up your work from yesterday's have-to, page 421 to 422. So number 2 was 623 plus 249. And you could have solved this a couple different ways. Pause me and think about the way that you solved this problem and why did you solve it this way? One way that you could have solved this problem is by first starting with 600 plus 200. Why do you think that someone would have started with the equation 600 plus 200? You could have solved it this way because you could have been thinking about breaking it down into its place value, hundreds, tens, and ones. Or you could have started with 623 plus 200. Pause me and think about why someone would have started their problem this way. You could have done this even on a number line by first adding hundreds. And the reason that you would have done it like this is because you would have broken down 249 into 200 plus 40 plus 9 and then added 200 first. And a lot of you may have done that on the number line. What about if you solved the equation with 249 plus 1? Pause me and think about why someone would have started with this starter problem, 249 plus 1. You may have started with 249 plus 1 because you know that 249 plus 1 is 250. And in order to do that, you would have had to think of 623 minus 1 and then 249 plus 1 because you need to add the same amount to one added as you take away if you're going to change the equation like that. Now let's think. What if you did your starter problem with 620 plus 240? Pause me and think about why someone would have done 620 plus 240 as their starter problem. Someone might have started with 620 plus 240 because they realized that you can add the tens and the hundreds really easily. You know that right off the bat that 2 plus 4 or 20 plus 40 would be 60, and then 600 plus 200 would be equal to 860, and then all you have would be your ones places. And you can do this super easily because you know that when I'm adding 2 plus 4 or 20 plus 40, it's not going to have to be bigger than just the tens. I'm not going to have to regroup any of my tens and put them in the hundreds place because I have too many. I'm not going to get a sum more than 90. So we've been talking about different ways to solve addition problems. And one of these ways is to be breaking the numbers apart. When you look up here, pause me and think about which of these solutions starts by breaking the numbers apart. Think about if 1, 2, 3, or 4, which solutions first start by breaking the numbers apart? The solutions that start by breaking the numbers apart would be 600 plus 200, 623 plus 200, and 620 plus 240. And that's because you're breaking apart the numbers that you're adding up. So for this one, you broke it first into hundreds, and then you'd be adding the tens, and then the ones. In 2, you kept my first number, 623, the same, but then you broke apart 249 into 200 plus 40 plus 9. You're only breaking apart the second number. And then for my fourth one, I broke it apart into hundreds and tens, and then kept the ones separately for both problems. So I have 620 plus 3, just like I would have 240 plus 9. What I want you to do now is pause me and think about why 249 plus 1 isn't a breaking apart strategy. You might be thinking that 249 plus 1 is a breaking apart strategy because technically you're breaking apart 623 and taking a 1 to make it 622. But what you're actually doing is you're doing a changing the numbers strategy. Another addition strategy we've been talking about is how to change the numbers to make the equation an easier problem to solve. So changing the numbers would be number 3. So what I have here is I have a chart, and on half of the chart it shows the strategy of breaking the numbers apart. On the other half, it's changing the numbers strategy. So for both I have the equation of 623 plus 249. My first strategy is adding by place value. What I want you to do is pause me and think about what numbers would be showing me the strategy of adding by place value for 623 plus 249. If I was to be doing adding by place value, I would first do 600 plus, and then I added 200, which equals 800, and then I need to add my tens, which is 20 plus 40, which is equal to 60, and then my ones, which would be 3 plus 9, which equals 12. And now I need to add all of my answers up together. So that would be 800 plus 60 plus 12. And I know that 800 plus 60 would be 860. Then I have an extra 10, so 870. So 872, because I need to put this 10 over here. So then I would have 872. Now what about if I did adding by place value and I did it by tens? Pause me and think about what equation that we just did here would be adding by place value by tens. Pause me now. Adding by place value by tens, I would be doing both my hundreds and tens, so 620, because then I have 62 tens, and then 240 or 24 tens. And 620 plus 240 would be 860. And then I still need to be thinking about my ones place, which would be 3 plus 9. And 3 plus 9 equals 12. So then I need to add 860 plus 12. And we know that this 1 is 110, so it needs to get added to my tens place. So I'd get the answer 872. A third way that we can break the numbers apart is by adding one number in parts. Pause me and think about a starter problem that would show 623 plus 249, where we're breaking one of the numbers in parts. if I was going to be adding one number in parts, I would keep 623 as is, but then I break up 249 into hundreds, tens, and ones. So then I would add 200 to get 623 plus 200. And this is probably realistically how you're adding on the number line, but just broken apart and not on the number line. So then I would get 823. So I have 823. And now I need to add my tens. And I would get 823 plus 40 would be 863. And then I still need to add my ones place, which would be 863 plus 9. So 863 plus 9, 864, 865, 866, 867, 868, 869, 870, 871, 872. So those are 3 strategies that we can be doing to break the numbers apart to make it easier for us to be adding. Now let's think about the strategy of changing the numbers. And this strategy is when we're changing the numbers to make numbers that are easier for us to add together. So we said that for this strategy of changing the numbers, we could have done was 249. And the reason that we did 249 plus 1 was because that we first did 623 plus 249. We took away 1 from 623, and then we added 1 to 249, which brought us to 250. And we figured out that as long as we do the same amount to one addend as the other addend, we'll still get the same answer. So now we have 250. And it's a lot easier to do 250 with adding than doing 249. So now we have 622 left. So I can first look at my hundreds and see 800. And then I see 500 or 50 plus 20, which would be 70. And then I still, now I only have one thing in my ones place, which would be 2. So I still got 872 because I took 1 away from 623 and added 1 to 249 to get to 250. So 623 was minus 1 was 222, and 249 plus 1 was 250, and I still got the same answer. Now let's think of something else that we could have done. To make this easier for ourselves, we could have made our numbers friendly numbers and change our numbers that way. So what if we did 623 plus 2? And I know that my ones places, 3 plus 2 is 5, so it becomes 625. Now I want to change my number even further, because I can know my 25 plus 50 a lot easier than I know 25 plus 49. So now I'm going to do 249 plus 1 to get to 250. Now what I'm seeing is that it's so much easier for me to add 625 plus 250 because I already know that 25 plus 50, and some of you guys might already know immediately that 25 plus 50 is 75. So now I'm getting 625 plus 250, which is 875. And in order for this equation to be true and still match my original one, I need to change my numbers and take away the same amount that I added. So I'm going to start with 875, and I added 2, so now I need to take away 2, and I added 1, so now I need to also take away 1. So now I'm doing 875 minus 3, which would be 872. Over the next few days, we're going to be working on problems that have to do with multiple addends. And when I say multiple addends, I mean multiple numbers that are being added together. Because remember, an addend is a number that's being added together. So 186 plus 92 plus 84. That is 3 addends that I'm adding together. I need to solve this equation just like I would do with a normal problem that only has 2 addends. I could do it by either adding first hundreds and then tens, then by 1, so breaking it down and adding by place value. Or I could think about it and first add up 186 plus 92, and now I'm going to separate them and solve 2 addends, and then add the third addend. So 186 plus 92, I'm going to first add by hundreds. So I would add 100, and then 80 plus 90, and I know 9 plus 8 is equal to 17, so 17 tens, and then 6 plus 2, which is equal to 8. So now I need to add 100 plus 170 plus 8. So I would have 200, because this 100 needs to get added to my hundreds place, plus 70, 278. Now I need to take 278 and add it with my third addend. So 278 plus 84. Again, I'm going to break it down into hundreds, tens, and ones. So 200, and then 70 plus 80, and I know that 7 plus 8 is equal to 15, so 15 tens, so 150, and then I still have my ones, so 8 plus 4, and 8 plus 4 is equal to 12. So now my equation, I'm going to write it right over here. I'm going to separate the 2 equations. 200 plus 150 plus 12. So 200 plus 100 is 300. Now I'm looking at my tens place. So 50 plus 10 is 60, and then I have 2. My number would be 362. So 186 plus 92 plus 84 would be 362. And I solved that by adding first 2 of my addends, getting the solution, which was 278, and then adding my 4th addend to get the answer of 362. Throughout the week, we'll be working more with 3 addends or multiple addends in a problem, but this is just a little starter to get us thinking about how we can be adding multiple addend problems. Here is your have-to for today. It's quiz 2, so you're going to answer all 5 questions. Make sure that you take your time and really read the questions to make sure you understand what it's asking you. So please make sure to take notes, show your work, and make your equations. If I don't see your work, you won't be getting full credit for this assignment. You need to be showing your work for every problem. So go through and answer 1 through 5. Do your best and make sure you use the Cami tools to show your work, or you can do it on a piece of paper and submit a picture of your work. Here's your have-to for today. You need to complete quiz 2, and you need to show your work. So you need to write the rules, make an equation, and show your work for every problem. And then work needs to be shown either on Cami or a picture needs to be uploaded onto the assignment. And you need to do this quiz independently. And then you need to, when you're done with the quiz, do 15 minutes of IXL only on the highlighted skills. Please check out this rubric on the bottom to see how you will be scored.